Welcome to the 2020 edition of Jane's Walk in the Ranchlands community. My name is Veronica and I will be joined by my neighbor Tanya as we explore a natural area in Ranchlands. We hope you enjoy this walk. We will begin this walk on the south side of Ranch Estates Drive at this interpretive sign. The Ranchlands community was one of the first planned communities in Calgary to preserve natural areas and create pathways for its residents. This natural area was untouched by developers during construction in the 1970s. Please wear sturdy footwear and watch for natural hazards.
It's Tanya here to talk about the next couple of stops. The landscape in the Ranchlands Park is influenced by the geologic past. During the latest glacial episode, approximately 20,000 years ago, two masses of ice met near Calgary. The continental Laurentide ice sheet from north-central Canada and the Cordilleran ice sheet from the Rocky Mountains to the west. Looking around us, we can see rolling hills and valleys. This has been called knob and kettle terrain, and the undulating, irregular landscape was formed by glacial ice and meltwater. Let's walk a little further. Notice throughout your walk that there are lots of rocks sticking out of the grasslands in the forest. The ice sheets that once covered this area carried rocks and debris that they picked up while traveling hundreds of kilometers. Imagine this area covered in ice, about a kilometer thick, about as thick as 5 Calgary towers stacked on top of one another. As the glaciers melted from the area, the rocks that were trapped in and on the ice were left behind. We call these glacially deposited rocks erratics. In Alberta, these erratics are quartzite and are much older than the local sandstones we see around the city. This is the largest erratic in the park. It's really rough and pointy, so it probably traveled near the top of the ice sheet, protecting it from being broken down or worn smooth by the movement of the ice. These lichens make it hard to see the rock itself, but if you explore around the erratic, you can find some fresh, sparkly surfaces showing the crystalline nature of the quartzite. These lichens are worth a close look as well. They are formed by two organisms working together to survive on the rock surface. Once you're done here, let's head down the hill to hear what Veronica has to say.
We will continue our walk along the edge of the aspen wood. As we look around, we can see the hills we traveled down, and we look towards the valley bottom. These hills and valleys are remnants of glaciation, referred to as knobs and kettles. On this hill, we can see the fescue grass has spring-blooming crocuses. This is a great location to watch for emerging bees and butterflies. Fescue grasses generally grow on the southerly aspects of these hills, as they are warm and drier. The aspen groves prefer the cooler and wetter northerly facing slopes. Did you know that aspen trees live in communities? Aspen trees reproduce by suckering, so all the trees that grew from a parent tree form a community. If you return in the autumn, you will be able to spot each community, as the shades of yellow leaves are slightly different for each community. This is the viewpoint of the walk. Have a seat on this hilltop, taking in the vistas of downtown Calgary and the Rocky Mountains to the west. Bird enthusiasts, this is your spot to watch and listen for a variety of birds. This is the final stop of our walk. We are at the lowest point of the park. You can see there is a stormwater drain installed to reduce the overland flooding. In the late 1970s, flooding in the Ranchlands community was a persistent problem for residents. Drainage issues from groundwater seepage to overland flooding led to many design changes that we see in community planning today. If you need to return to the start of the walk, you may walk up Ranch Estates Drive, or if you would like to walk through the woods, you may walk up the valley bottom to the stop 4, where you can then retrace your steps to the beginning of this walk. I hope you enjoyed this walk in my community, and thank you to Tanya for helping me guide this walk today.